This is Kerry Graves with the Second Wind Podcast, and you are listening to a Fraser Chronicles podcast here on the Fraser Chronicles podcast show.
And today I have a guest who's joining me. And first things first is I want to say thank you for taking the time out to join me here on Fraser Chronicles for a great episode of talking about your content creation and your entrepreneurship. So with that being said, the floor is yours. You go ahead and tell the listeners who you are and any information you want to give them.
Okay, so I go by Jam on social media, but my name is Jamise. I am a small business owner and a content creator here in Dallas, born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, though. And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Jumping right into this podcast, can you tell the listeners, first off, what the name of your business is?
So I am the owner of the Black Shop. It was founded in 2020 when George Floyd was unalived, and I got out and started to protest. I became an activist here in Dallas, and because it was COVID, I had nothing to do. I just started making shirts to protest in, and then it just kind of took off from there. So, yeah.
Okay. So would you say that inspired you to get into the entrepreneurship?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ironically, before that, I had a business called Fly Girl Cosmetics, and it was doing so well until COVID hit and nobody was wearing makeup anymore. Everybody had to wear masks. So I just did a little pivot, and this actually worked out a lot better because it starts from a movement that I really believe in and I really fight for. So it worked out perfectly.
Okay. Why should anyone want to shop with you? Why should they shop with you? And the reason I'm asking is because I know, one, the George Floyd case and the thing has kind of transpired and has kind of went away. Nobody's really into that. But why should someone shop with you? What makes your brand unique?
So that was the foundation of my business. However, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Unfortunately, you're still going to be Black every day. There's still something, that we're going to have to fight against every day. We still have our culture. We still have, ways that we can communicate and celebrate each other. And that's just what my clothing line is. And also, I feel like I have something for everyone. Like, even if you're not, Black or into, being an activist and things like that, like I have a plethora of options as far as like my clothing goes. I have things from the 90s. I have TV show t-shirts, movie t-shirts. So it's something for everyone. And my clothes are dope. That's why you should shop with me. So yeah. I'll have to send you something too. I have to send you something.
Definitely. And with that being said, something for everybody. What would you say a listener should look more for getting if they're purchasing online? And the reason I'm asking is because you have your Black shirts, you have your cartoons, but let's just say a listener's out there listening saying, I want to go on a shop right now. What should I get?
So I also, in addition to what I named earlier as far as categories, my clothing line is geared towards self-care and self-help as well. So in those three realms, I feel like they should get whatever they're in the mood for. So however they're feeling, whatever they can relate to the most, that's what I would say purchase. Like I said, we have different colors, different designs. It's just a huge variety. So.
Okay. And they're probably thinking, what's the turnaround time? I know that's what they're thinking.
Yeah. Turnaround time is 3 to 5 business days. So not including weekends. So if you purchase on a Monday, your order will probably ship out on a Thursday, just depending on if there's a holiday or how busy we are. Yeah. It's quick. It's not too slow. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty fast. I mean, that's what everybody shops with Amazon, and everybody's about
exactly, because Prime don't really Prime anymore. Like,
no.
You don't really get next day stuff anymore. So yeah, 3 to 5 days.
And I see you're on TikTok. You're on TikTok, and you do some motivational speaking and things like that. Let's dive into that. What inspired you to do that?
So when I first started TikTok, it was me speaking on social and racial injustice as far as like things that were taking place, in the Black community, as far as the issues that we've had, of course, with law enforcement and things like that. And it shifted probably in 2022. I lost my mother and my grandmother. And so I use TikTok. Thank you. I use TikTok as a journal, basically. Like that was really one of the only ways I could express myself as far as like the grief I was going through. And I just wanted to motivate somebody and let them know that they can get through anything. If I can get through that, like there's not a task great enough that you cannot get through. You just have to, keep going.
Right. Yeah. And when you started doing that and you really started getting out there, because again, I've been watching, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on, because I was like, I can't let greatness just keep passing me and then me watching.
Thank you.
So I was like, let me bring her on. So what would you say is the biggest thing now when it comes to you kind of, I guess, bringing everything together? Because you had your shirt, you had your TikTok moment, you had a death. And I know that death is something that a lot of people could take hard. And with it in your journal, what is the next big thing you're working on now?
Without going into too much detail, because I'm trying to like put it together, I'm actually creating an organization, a platform that is based or surrounds like self-love and just pouring into yourself and the process of healing and growing after grief or a loss of love or whatever it is. And it's basically going to be a foundation where we get together, we do brunches, we can take trips. Like I'll have a group where people can just, post and express their feelings, like just like an open platform for self-love, self-care, and it'll be open to men and women. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay, look at you. Building.
Look at me giving you my telling you my secret.
With all this going on, who has inspired you? Who would you say inspired you the most?
I would have to say my grandmother, who is no longer here, but every day she would tell me to just be the best version of myself. Just go be great on purpose. Like she would tell me that every day, and I try my best to, live up to that. So definitely Granny.
Okay. So do you think you fulfilled that, or do you feel like you're still on that journey to fulfill it?
I'm definitely still on a journey. I think we're all going to always be on a journey, because once you reach where you want to go, it's always a good thing to just keep progressing forward. So I've come a long way, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So I'll always be like a work in progress, which is good because I'll always have, things to talk about and, ways to motivate.
Okay. And another thing that I want to get to during this podcast is, where can my listeners find you, your business, your TikTok? Where can they find you?
Okay. So my website is theblackshop.com, and it's shop with 2 P's and an E. So the black is the color, SHOPPE. And then I am on Instagram, the same name, the black_shop. And then I'm on TikTok, and it's Color Me Jam, Color Me, and then Jam with double M's. All the other ones are scammers. Please don't talk to those people that's trying to take y'all money away from y'all. So, yeah.
Oh, so you have another TikTok somebody created, or?
There's like probably 15 different TikToks just like for me, like scamming. And apparently they are going into like DMs asking for money for readings. Like people are sending them money. So yeah, there's only one, Color Me Jam. No numbers. There's nothing. It's just me. I understand like imitation is the best form of flattery, but it is getting out of hand.
Well, don't worry about it, because what you're going to do is I'm going to have you send it to me, and then we'll put it in the link of the show.
Thank you.
To help you out and to get everybody else there. My next thing is, when it comes to your business and it comes to motivation, where do you feel you are at in your life? And I will say, and I'm saying it in a way of, where do you feel like? Do you feel like you're in a safe place now, or do you feel like you're in a place where you're still kind of trying to figure things out?
I definitely feel I'm in a peaceful space.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll have everything figured out at all, but I just take one day at a time. But I am definitely in the most peaceful place that I have ever been in my entire life. So, yeah, I think I kind of got it figured out, but like I said, work in progress. Hopefully one day I'll have it all figured out, but nobody's perfect. So, but yeah, I'm definitely at a safe, peaceful space.
Okay. do you have any final words of wisdom that you want to give to any listener out there? Maybe they're a listener that's saying, hey, I want to get to entrepreneurship. Or maybe they're saying, hey, I want to be able to start my clothing brand. Or they're out there and they're just thinking, hey, I've lost a loved one. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I recoup? How do I go about, how to overcome it? So do you have any words of wisdom on those things?
Yeah, I would say, number one, you just sometimes have to know that everything is going to be okay. You have to trust yourself and trust the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, and know that somebody is looking out for you. It's going to be okay, even if it seems like it's not. For entrepreneurs or small business owners that's trying to break into any type of industry, you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot, but you just have to be able to put in the hard work and understand it does not happen overnight. And you can do whatever you put your mind to. You can do whatever you want to do. As cliche as that sounds, it's just real.
Exactly. And I want to thank you for being a part of today's podcast.
Thank
But before we wrap this up, I want you to give everybody your name again, give everybody your social media. That way they don't have to go all the way back to the beginning and they don't have to try to figure out where it's at.
Okay, so I'm Jam, Jamm. Everybody calls me Auntie Jam. Y'all can find me on TikTok at Color Me Jam, Jamm. The Black Shop on Instagram, 2 P's and an E, and Color Me Jam on Instagram as well.
Okay, y'all heard it there. Make sure y'all go ahead and get that shopping done. That's the big thing. Support a Black business. That's what we're about, supporting Black businesses. Not only that, a woman in business, a big, very big thing. As women are becoming greater than us men. And it's a great thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing.
You said it, I didn't.
It's a great thing. We're seeing it in sports. We're seeing it in business. We're seeing it all over the world. So, I mean, your hand's in the basket now. And listeners will be coming to purchase. And I promise you that, because I'm always promoting.
I appreciate that.
That's a big thing for me. And again, you guys can listen to me here on Fraser Chronicles podcast on all podcasting platforms. I'm on Apple. I'm on Amazon, iHeartRadio, everywhere podcasts, YouTube to include that. So make sure y'all out there following the YouTube channel as well. Until next time, that is our time here on the Fraser Chronicles podcast.